everyone, this is Zach, and with the Pokemon Presents coming July 22nd, just a few days away, I thought I would finally pull myself away from Donkey Kong Bonanza and make a video talking about my predictions. Now, I will say that I have seen some leaks in regards to some of the games, but I will not be talking about them in any way, shape, or form. So if you're worried about that, no need to worry. And most of my channel is focused on VGC, so you'll see that in my predictions and the way I talk about certain things. But I am a Pokemon fan overall, so a lot of these things I do still care about. But what are your predictions? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. First off, I believe there is a DJ Pikachu pre-show. I feel like this pre-show will transition into a new mobile game, maybe a Rivalin-based one, or it will talk about how music from the games, like the official soundtracks, are coming to streaming services. It's really heads or tails which one is going to be. I think if it's the streaming services, they'll only launch some music now at first and then release more as Pokemon Day comes around next February. Next up, you're going to see the normal stuff about the mobile games, Masters EX, Cafe Remix, and Pokemon Sleep. I predict that I won't care about these at all. I don't. I'm sorry. I know that some people still play Masters EX, but with all the mobile games, like, I can't keep up with them. I'm terrible at going back to an app over and over again, and really the only game I play is like Pokemon Go when I'm out and about, and even then I'm not really paying attention to it. I don't do any of the big events anymore now that I have a kid, and I really can't just let him run around when I'm out doing these events. And TCG Pocket, which you can play anywhere, and it's really, do it when you have time. Not like Pokemon Sleep where you have to check in every morning and this and that. We'll see information about GoFest or highlights about GoFest. I honestly don't know if it happened yet or will it happen. For Pokemon Go, we'll also probably see Mega Raids come back. They're going to go heavy on the Mega Pokemon, as we've seen with the TCG and ZA, but they will probably shadow drop a new quest line and maybe even bring some more Pokemon to the game. That's usually how they'll do it. That are with the Pokemon Presents, like a Pokemon will have a chance to be shiny this next week. When it comes to the anime, it will be discussed in some way. More Horizons episodes will probably come on Netflix, and then we'll probably see a trailer for Pokemon Concierge Season 2, because they announced Season 2 was coming last February, and it is scheduled to release in September of 2025, so we'll probably see a trailer for that. And that will be all of the little stuff. Maybe they'll talk about something at like the Pokemon Center, but next we'll move on to the services, like the games and stuff, and they'll talk about Worlds. We'll get Worlds news, we'll get recap about the merch, and they will probably talk about the soundtrack that they announced with different artists and probably preview a song, and that might tie into the live streaming services as well. Like if the DJ Pikachu show is connected to live streaming services somehow, they'll probably tie that music into that as well. For Pokemon Unite, I haven't opened up Unite in quite a while. It will probably introduce, new playable mons coming, a new game mode, our new bosses coming out. They will detail what Mega Pokemon are coming and in which order, because I know that they've already announced that Mega Pokemon are going to come to Unite. We'll probably see which ones those are. I would have to say Mega Gyarados is probably one of them. With the TCG is going to focus on the upcoming set, Mega Evolution, and it will probably show off some alternative arts for Mega Evolutions and probably show some more Mega Pokemon that are going to be in the set. I know with the pack art that was released and some of the key art that was released, we saw things like Mega Manectric, Mega Abomasnow, Mega Mawile, Mega Kangaskhan, and Mega Venusaur. We already know that Mega Lucario and Mega Gardevoir are coming, so I don't think they'll all be in one set, but I think with those Pokemon being on the art, we will probably see them in the set themselves. So I think it's going to go more towards alt art for these Mega Pokemon that people are really going to want to see. I think that TCG Live for the Nintendo Switch 2 will be teased in some way, shape, or form. I think this would be a really good time with the Nintendo Switch 2 to release TCG Live on that platform. The camera can allow the Nintendo Switch 2 to scan code cards, while mouse features on the Joy-Cons would make it easier to play the game if docked. If we don't see this on the Presents, I think it will be moved to Pokemon Day. I do think TCG Live coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 would actually be a really cool thing. I know it's on PC. I know it's on mobile, like iPads and stuff. So put it on the Switch. TCG Pocket, we will probably see a new set to feature Megas. I know that the Eevee one came out very recently, but I feel like they've been dropping new sets pretty fast. They'll explain the update to trading. Trading has been changed. I forget in what details, but I don't trade anyway. So we'll have to see how people respond to the new trading, because I know that a lot of people didn't like the limitations that trading had originally with TCG Pocket. And then it will probably shadow drop some kind of battle event, whether it's a solo battle event or online one. I don't know. But I don't think we'll see a set dropping today. I think we'll see a date announced for it. Now let's talk about games, mostly focusing on the Nintendo Switch 2. I think Pokemon Colosseum is going to come to NSO Online, or at least get a date announcement, if not a full drop. I think we'll probably see XD for Pokemon Day. I don't think they're both going to drop at the same time, so I think it would be good to see one now, especially giving casual fans something to do in between the dead time of Scarlet and Violet and ZA, and then it will still leave a game for Pokemon Day. When it comes to Scarlet and Violet, hopefully we'll see something about shiny legendaries being released in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's the box legendaries or the Rune Quartet, it will tell us which new pseudo legendary will be the 7-star raid. I think we're down to just Goodra and Dragapult and Hydreigon, I believe. And so we'll see one of those be announced as the next 7-star raid. And maybe we'll see 5-star raids for Pokemon that have Mega Evolutions like Gardevoir and Lucario. I feel like they're relying heavily on those two Pokemon, so I could see some kind of event tied into Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. So I think we won't see much about Scarlet and Violet beyond that as well. I do think that the shiny legendaries is kind of a big ask, and I feel like we'll see the box legendaries closer to the release of Generation 10. Next, we'll see ZA get one last trailer. This will definitely detail the difference between the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 version, to show people whether that Switch 2 version is worth the $10 increase. We'll hopefully see something new, whether it's a regional form or a new evolution, but my money is on new Mega Pokemon. It's hard to say whether we will see a regular Pokemon get a new Mega Evolution, or will they show the starters. If I had to guess, it would probably be a new Mega Evolution from a new Pokemon, saving the starter Megas until release. I feel like they've been kind of keeping the starter final evolutions and Gigantamax forms, and in this case, like the Mega Evolutions, very low key until the game comes out. I feel like they're very adamant on preserving the surprise of your partner Pokemon. Maybe we'll see some silhouettes if they show anything of the starters, but I would have to say we'll probably see a new Mega Evolution before we see Mega Starters. But I could be wrong, and I kind of hope I'm wrong, because, let's give Meganium something to look forward to. And the last thing that I want to predict is Champions. Now, I think that Champions is going to be a big chunk of the Presents. I think in this, it will detail Champions and the process of moving Pokemon over from Pokemon Home to Pokemon Champions, and how to get them ready for battle. I do think this will now be the home for VGC and ranked battles. This would explain why Pokemon VGC, the 2026 season, is starting in September, where Go and TCG is starting in July. I feel like there's really no reason to do that unless there is some kind of transfer period we need to prepare for. And I think that Pokemon Champions fits that description very well. If they plan on using this at the next regional for the 2026 season, it has to drop soon. Regionals are coming up in middle of September. The season is starting September 1st. So if they are planning to use Pokemon Champions, then it needs to drop pretty soon. I'm hoping we see a shadow drop. I would love that, but I do think we should get a release date that is coming soon within a week or two, since it already has a product page on the Nintendo eShop. This way it gives players a chance to catch up and get used to whatever format we're using in the game itself before the next regional. I think that even though the game will be on mobile, I think the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 version will only be allowed for VGC play. I also think it's going to be like Pokemon Home, where they talk about how Pokemon Home is on Switch and mobile, but certain features are locked to certain versions. For example, you can't trade on the Nintendo Switch version. It has to be done on the mobile app. So, and you also see things like game stats on the mobile app as well, where the Nintendo Switch version is mainly just for the moving of Pokemon. So I do think there might be some version differences between mobile and Nintendo Switch. I do think battles will be one of them. And it's also curious to see, will it require Nintendo Switch Online to play on the Switch 2, since it will be free to play on mobile, unless they plan on requiring a Nintendo Switch Online to play mobile. We'll have to see how it goes. But I do think that only the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 version will be allowed for VGC, at least for this season. I don't know if they'll add in mobile. We'll have to see how the game works. And that is all of my predictions. I want to know how you feel in the comments down below. I will say that the summer/fall presents usually trends to be a little longer, which is why my predictions are so packed. The Pokemon Day presents are usually around like 20 minutes, with the average of the past 3 August directs, summer/fall directs being about 27 minutes average, with the last one in 2023 going to almost 35 minutes. So I think we're going to get a lot of stuff here. What I don't think we're going to see is anything about a movie. They will probably say that about Pokemon Day. We won't see anything about Gen 10. Obviously, they're going to say that for Pokemon Day, of course. And Legends ZA and Champions is going to come out soon, so they're not going to harm that at all. I don't think we'll see any remakes unless it's like a spin-off game, but I feel like if we do see a spin-off game, it won't come closer to Pokemon Day anyway, so they might as well just save that here. I don't feel like we're going to see any surprise drops on Nintendo Switch Online. No, we will not see the Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games and Game Boy Advance games on Nintendo Switch Online. We won't. If they're going to do it, they're going to sell it to you individually. And I'm sticking by that. I say that every single time. I'll say it again on Pokemon Day because it's not going to happen. But that's it. That's all. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoy this content or want to see me play some VGC as well, like and subscribe, you know. But that's going to be all. I hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, Zach, and I'll see everyone later.